So in this video, I'm going to be sharing some of my experiences as a former strength and conditioning coach for the Boston Red Sox organization. So I was the strength coach for the single A affiliate of the Boston Red Sox, the former Lowell Spinners. And so a typical day would be, waking up early. Some guys had to do some workouts in the morning. A lot of the guys had corrective exercises that they needed to do. So my job was to, pull guys out that needed to do exercises or help assist guys doing their corrective exercises. And then from there, we would get ready for stretch. I would lead some stretch routines. I would get these players warmed up. We would do some agility drills on some days, but mostly just doing dynamic warm-ups. And then we would hang around as players got warmed up for their fielding and practicing or scrimmaging or whatever. And then if it was a game day, sometimes we would just do some warm-ups before the games, but if they didn't have a game, a lot of the times we're lifting. So I would lead these workouts in the gym, and overall just kind of being there as a coach to make sure guys are warming up properly, working out properly, designing workouts, etc. The biggest takeaway that I want you guys to understand about baseball at this level is that it is a job. These guys have to show up and they have to clock in and they have to do what they need to do. And so the earlier that you can start to adopt this framework, this mindset of it actually being a job, yeah, it's a little bit less sexy, it's a little bit less fun, but I think that over time it's going to lead to you having more success, because if you just treat this like a game, and that you're just doing it to have fun, you're going to not work as hard. You're going to, give up or let loose a little bit more. But if you really want to take things to the next level, if you want to play college baseball or pro baseball, whatever it is, you need structure, you need strategy, right? You actually need things that are going to take you to the next level. And unfortunately, most of the things out there are good, not great. And so I want to introduce to you today what I think is a much better strategy when it comes to baseball training. So most athletes out there have a very chaotic training protocol, right? They're doing a little bit of this, they're doing a little bit of that. And unless you're checking off all of the boxes, you're not really giving yourself the best possible opportunity to have success. So in order to check off the boxes, you need to know what the boxes are. So you really do need an effective testing protocol, and athletes get exposed to this when they go to, showcases and things like that. But with the Red Sox, these guys were testing things on a monthly basis. And so most athletes don't get really accurate numbers of their metrics until they go to one of these showcases. And then sometimes they're slapped in the face with the reality that they didn't actually make a lot of improvement over the last year. They may have worked hard in the weight room, or where they think they've worked hard, but it didn't actually show numerical improvements. So testing is by far the foundation of the pyramid. Next, we need to take the low-hanging fruit of increasing range of motion in the body. And this is by far the most difficult strategies to improve. There's a lot of techniques out there that people claim to work. They don't. Foam rolling, stretching are all good, not great. So mobility strategies, I'm one of the only coaches that is confident enough in my mobility techniques to be able to guarantee improvements in a week, not months, not years, but in a week of improving range of motion in every single one of your body parts. From there, we go strength and power techniques, really understanding all the movement patterns, and then using contrast training to really improve your power output on top of developing strength. You have conditioning techniques, not just running poles, but doing things to improve your aerobic and anaerobic training. You have nutrition and supplementation. And then you have biomechanics. You need to understand that there are a list of body parts that are involved in the throwing motion and the swinging motion, and that if you are aware of the names of each movement that each body part can do, you can get a much better understanding of what to do during the throwing motion. You have accuracy and fielding strategies that you need to be checking off, and mental skills strategies that play a role in your psychology and your confidence and things like that. And so unless you are really improving and improving the strategies, which then will improve the baseline metrics, right? So if you need to have the tests, you need to be able to conduct the tests, and then you need effective strategies within each category to then go back and test and see if you're actually making progress. But if you're not testing, you actually don't know if you're making progress or not. And so if you're not checking off all these boxes, recruiting is going to be a much harder thing for you, right? When you go and approach coaches and say, hey, do you have any room on your team? Like, you may not even be confident enough to even ask that. But if you are checking off all these boxes, if you are measurably improving month to month, year to year, then you actually can email these coaches and say, hey, like, do you want me on your team? Or should I even consider, why should I consider being on your team, right? You can even come from that standpoint. You can say, hey, tell me why, how much money are you going to give me to come play on your team? It's that, right? So with this level of strategy, you can improve your confidence and you can get recruited much easier. And so our school has all of these laid out for you, right? All these categories, all the tests, all of these strategies in order to improve your metrics in every single one of these categories. And even if you have trouble doing things on your own, you have attention disorders or whatever have you, we have a mentorship program that we work on hand-holding athletes through so they can make measurable progress quickly. So I'll leave the links in the description, and make sure to like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys on the next video.